This is a classroom impact project for EDLL604 evidence-based teaching presented by Andrea Lewis. Nathalia Secondary College is a 7 to 12 school located in northern Victoria. This is the school that the project is being implemented within. The school has an index community socio-educational advantage value of 933 with a school population of 126. There is cultural and linguistic diversity within the school, with 15% of the students belonging to Indigenous background and 2% having a language background other than English. The focus class for this research project is a Year 8 science class consisting of 18 students. 5 students in this class have individual education plans, which are important for describing student learning experiences and outlining the adjustments, goals, and strategies required to meet students' individual education needs. Furthermore, there are 6 students belonging to a diverse cultural and linguistic background, including from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander backgrounds. Accordingly, a wide range of teaching strategies have been implemented within this classroom in order to meet student needs. NAPLAN results for this class provided baseline data to inform my initial understanding of the Year 8 cohort. It shows their range of numeracy and literacy capabilities as measured during their Year 7 NAPLAN test, which range from level 2 to level 8. Formative and summative assessments conducted during Semester 1 were used to build further understanding of the student capabilities and current learning gaps and issues. The Gutmann chart has been created using the results from a formative assessment activity during the unit on light waves and can be seen on the left. I have also presented this information in a bar graph on the right for a better review of potential patterns and relationships between student thinking skills and achievement capabilities. Results show that students within this cohort show strength in their ability to remember and understand key information, facts, and concepts being taught. However, they struggle with applying this information in an abstract way and analysing its relevance in other contexts, as well as synthesising the information within their work. Through observations and baseline data analysis, one of the clear issues within the data is their limited ability to demonstrate higher order thinking skills, in particular application and analysis skills. The interventions in this project will therefore be designed to improve these capabilities in students through the use of frequent visible learning strategies such as mind mapping, modelling, and progressive rubrics. This is a student work example of their ability to accurately answer lower order thinking questions that is demonstrated in Key 1 through defining key terms and their issues and struggles with answering higher order thinking questions, which was to explain the relationship between color frequency and wavelength. This table shows the summative assessment outcomes achieved by level 8 students after each corresponding unit of study. Scores were determined by student ability to demonstrate depth of thinking skills and overall demonstration of understanding of the topic. Outcomes were categorized into demonstration of lower to higher order thinking skills with evidence of the basic remembering and understanding highlighted in red, evidence of application in yellow, and evidence of analysis in green. The numbers which raise from levels 4 to 8 correspond with the respective level of student achievement. In this cohort, students should be aiming to achieve a level score of 8 by the end of the school year. The research question for this project is what happens to student applications and analysis capabilities when visible learning strategies such as mind mapping, modelling, and progressive rubrics are regularly implemented? The key foci for this intervention strategies that were put in place was to improve their higher order thinking skills in students. So modelling activities have been shown to significantly improve the ability for students to demonstrate higher order thinking skills and their critical thinking, as well as their expression of opinion. Mind maps have been used as problem-solving tools to help students think through presented problems and review, connect, and explore learned concepts with previous knowledge. And progressive rubrics are valuable tools for aiding students in the development and understanding of quality work. As a framework, Bloom's taxonomy has been described as a way of categorizing what we expect or intend students to learn or demonstrate as a result of teacher instruction. Accordingly, this will be used as a tool within this project for measuring students' progression from lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skills. It can be used to inform learning sequence along with how to design formative and summative assessments as well. Each student whose data was collected and used within this project for intervention analysis has been de-identified and was given a consent form through which they could agree or disagree to participation. Should students have chosen not to participate at any point during the project, their data was to be removed from the analysis, with the school, principal and parents informed of the research project and how the data would be collected and used if the intervention implemented began to show any negative impact on student learning. Interventions were to be modified or removed to ensure positive student learning and achievement is prioritized. The following slides exemplify student work samples of the visible learning strategies explicitly taught during this intervention phase of the project. During the forces unit, in which students learnt about different forces and their influence on objects, students created collaborative paper-based and online-based mind maps to review content, connect concepts, and stimulate ideas. Similarly, mind maps were used in the food chain and food web unit to synthesize key information. This slide provides an example of how students were provided with modelled work, which provided students with an idea of how to approach their summative assessment task. For food chains and food webs, they were also provided with models for their other summative and formative assessment tasks as well. These are the progressive rubrics I created and provided to students along with their task sheets to help guide them in how to complete the task at differential levels of knowledge and what they should be aiming to demonstrate. Students were explicitly taught how to read and use these rubrics. Students were encouraged to aim for benchmarks that were extended slightly beyond their capability in order to promote growth. However, enabling students to tick off lower level standards that they could reach helped promote engagement and student confidence in their ability to complete the assessment to a satisfactory degree. These examples show how rubrics were used to assess student achievement and provide targeted feedback. Using another formative assessment provided post the commencement of intervention implementation, another Gutmann chart was constructed to determine the accuracy with which students answered questions that range from lower to higher order thinking questions. And again, a bar graph was used to represent these findings. The graphs show the different achievements of students during formative assessments, pre and post targeted visible learning interventions. The data demonstrates that while there was a decrease in the exhibition of lower order thinking skills in the pre-intervention light questions versus the post-intervention forces questions, there was an increase in the ability of students to demonstrate higher order thinking skills. It is important to note that the questions had some differences in regards to their alignment with Bloom's hierarchy of thinking and their subject matter. Therefore, direct comparison is challenging. However, overall, the questions were designed to reflect the spectrum of lower to higher order thinking skills, so looking at overall success rate in student ability to answer these questions can provide some indication of growth in student capability of answering these higher order questions. This table was constructed using summative assessment scores and exhibition of lower to higher order thinking skills shown pre and post intervention. Both 1 and 2-tailed t-tests were conducted using the average summative assessment scores for each student pre and post implementation of visible learning strategies. The results show a statistically significant score for both tests with a p-value of 0.03% with the two-tailed t-test and 0.02% with the one-tailed t-test. As a result, the difference between the two groups of averaged results indicates a genuine improvement in student achievement over this period, which is unlikely to have occurred just by chance. The data collected from the formative and summative assessments show general indication of an improvement in student abilities to demonstrate higher order thinking skills. The trend in results reflect an improvement in student ability to accurately answer higher order level questions, particularly those requiring students to apply and analyze information. However, while the trend shows growth in student ability, the results were obtained in an uncontrolled environment and results may be conflated with other factors contributing to growth in student performance. The subject matter learned in science was unique and not covered in other subjects, which provided an element of control. However, they still may have been a contribution of cross-curricular skills that had an influence on results. Research shows that visible learning strategies such as mind mapping and modeling rubrics can be used to train students' creative and critical thinking skills. KIND emphasizes the importance of explaining content and learning strategies to students in order to transform their understanding and build knowledge. In this project, students were explicitly taught how to use and construct mind maps and progressive rubrics. However, they had previously had low levels of experience in these strategies, which impacted their initial uptake of these methods. Greater consistency in their implementation across curricula and their use in science classroom over a longer period of time may help to further improve student use of these learning tools. And students were more familiar with modeling as this practice is more widely used in teaching, and they found this valuable reference point to help complete their work tasks, their learning tasks. The research question during this project was what happens when students' application and analysis skills, when visible learning strategies such as mind mapping, modeling, and progressive rubrics are regularly implemented. Data analysis indicates a general improvement in student ability to demonstrate higher order thinking skills which directly related to their demonstration of application and analysis capabilities. While there was initial student hesitancy when introduced to mind maps and progressive rubrics, student confidence in using these tools did show an improvement as witnessed through student observation and discussion. Student achievement has been shown to be boosted by these strategies, and as they become more proficient at using these tools, future improvements may be possible. I will continue to use these tools as part of a holistic teaching approach in order to determine this, and given the continuing gap in the ability of majority of students to demonstrate higher order thinking skills, it is important to maintain a focus on learning tools that will improve these outcomes for students. Another area further capacity building is among teachers and their use of Bloom's taxonomy in lesson planning and rubric design. In addition, other frameworks should be explored for developing student higher order thinking skills. Thank you for listening.